Hello guys, this is Josh. If it's your first time watching my channel, I post videos about my personal life, social skills, and mindset. I've been wanting to focus on talking about social skills, so the topic for today is people pleasers. In this episode, I'm gonna talk about the reason that people please, the science of people pleasing, 3 truths about people pleasing behavior, and 2 solutions for you if you don't want to people please anymore. First of all, let's talk about the reason of people pleasing. There are many factors that would make people try to please others. There are 4 examples. The first one is, let's say when you were a kid, that's just how you grew up. It became a childhood pattern that you would please others. The second reason is because you're afraid of being disliked. You simply don't want any other to not like you. The third reason can be that your lack of confidence or lack of self-esteem. The fourth reason can be, it could be part of your culture, just how people socialize in your culture. I'm gonna talk about the signs that people please others. This part is really important because sometimes we think that we're not pleasing others. We think that we just want to do that. But then the thing is, it's actually not true. So there are the 5 signs that indicate that you are pleasing others. The first sign is that you're afraid of saying no. You keep saying yes to everything and not because you want to. It's like you feel like you're gonna offend others if you say no. The second sign is that you're feeling guilty when you're setting boundaries for yourself. The third sign is that you're afraid of conflict with others. The fourth sign is that you're changing your personal opinions just because you want to fit in, not because you really think so. The fifth sign is that you're putting other people's need above your own need. So you're not doing things for yourself first. You're doing it for others. I think all the signs can really apply to most of us, and I think some situations are worse than the others. All we need to do is to recognize the moments that we please others, so we know that next time we can do something differently. We want to be able to be genuinely nice and not to please others. So that leads to the next topic. What does it mean to be genuinely nice? The definition is actually easier than you think. It's so easy, so simple. If you have the desire to do things and just because you want to, not because you're afraid of anything. It's not for anything in return. One example can be like your friend Lucas. He's asking you to help him with his homework. And you know that Lucas, he studies hard. He's a good friend. So you're like, okay, I'll help him. But then in the meanwhile, you don't want anything in return. You don't want him to buy you a coffee next time. You just want to do it because you feel like doing so. That's one example. On the other hand, if you're pleasing others, that would be like, you have a lot on your plate, but then you feel bad not helping Lucas because Lucas is saying like, oh, you're my friend, you're supposed to help me. So if you don't really have the time and you don't have the energy, you just don't want to do it, but then you kind of feel like you're being forced to do so, then that's a sign of that you're pleasing others. To this point, you must be wondering like, so what's the difference? What's the difference between being genuinely nice and people pleasing? The difference is that you're being authentic. Being authentic means that you just don't care that much. You're not overthinking about the consequences, especially when you say no to others. Let's say it's John's birthday today and then you attend the birthday party. You bought a gift for him. You were happy that you were invited to the party and celebrated his birthday with him. John took a look at the gift and he was like, wow, it must be expensive. Let's say you spend $200 on the gift. And you were like, yeah, it's nothing. Like, don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. Having that attitude of being chill and not overthinking or like reacting to something, that's being authentic. You simply don't care. Like, you give John the gift and then that's it. You're happy that he receives the gift and that's it. You don't want anything in return. Like, you don't care if he would give you a gift on your birthday. Nothing. Like, that's being authentic. Not being authentic would be like, let's say Jackson, he attended a Christmas party with you and he gave you something. And then on Jackson's birthday, you simply forget. And Jackson texts you, be like,
where's my gift? Did you buy a gift for me on my birthday?
You would be like, what the heck? Like, that's just not how it works usually. Like, you don't simply like text people or ask for a gift. As a joke, sure, but then that just really, I guess it's just not good. Like, not a good behavior to have when you're asking, when you're begging for something, that just kind of ruins a relationship. When they're begging, they put themselves like really down there and then you're like up there. I wouldn't think that it's a healthy relationship, so don't ever do that. That's being not authentic. And then let's move on to the 3 truths about people pleasing. The first truth is that we think that saying no to others, they're gonna feel so offended. In our mind, we kind of overestimate people's reactions. Let's say Lucas asked me for help for his homework and I say, no, I can't. Sorry, I can't. And like in our head, let's say before we say that, are you gonna picture like, oh my god, he's gonna be crying and like react so drastically? Usually that's just in our head. That is not true. That is not the reality. So like whatever that's going on in our head, that's not true. Also, you think that saying no, that means like you're not a nice person anymore or a kind person. In school, you were taught to be nice and kind all the time. Let's just forget about things that you learn from school, such as algebra. Let's discuss what makes you a bad person. Is being not kind or like a bad person when you say no to others and you say yes to everything? Absolutely not. Your thinking is putting labels on yourself. You think that I'm a nice person, I'm a kind person, I have to help all the time. That is just not how it works. You have to figure out the definition of being kind and nice, and that is definitely not saying yes to everything, because you know what, you have to protect your own feelings too. It leads to the second truth, protecting your own feelings. Did you know that your own feelings are so important? They are more valuable than you think they are. Your own feelings are like the boundaries of you. Let's say you live in a castle and your boundary is like 10 kilometers away. So whenever people come within the 10 kilometers, you will feel threatened. You will feel someone's gonna attack me, something like that, for instance. In that case, that's the time when you start to overthink, start to have negative energy. And that, just put it this way, the more boundary that people cross from you, the more miserable you're gonna get. Another example is that if you don't want to go to work at 4 a.m. in the morning, but then your boss is saying like you have to go to work at 4, but then you're so afraid of being fired, so you were like, I have to do it regardless. So instead of getting up at 7 a.m. and go to work, you have to get up at 3:30 a.m. to go to work. And of course you're gonna feel miserable about it. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna be happy about it. The third truth is that if you don't protect your own feelings, here are the consequences. First of all, you're gonna be burnt out and you're gonna have the resentment. You're gonna start losing your own identity. You're gonna feel really miserable. You're gonna have an imbalanced relationship, that you're always the one doing stuff for others and nobody's doing stuff for you. So it's not equal. And the worst thing is that you're gonna feel like you're not ever being seen. You're just like a working machine. You're just there to do things and to make people happy. It sounds really sad, so here are the 2 solutions for you if you want to stop pleasing others. The first solution is that you have to set up boundaries for yourself. You are not a superhero. You're not supposed to save people. You can save others, but then that's not really your job. Your job is to take care of yourself first. You know, on the airplane, let's say when something happens, you have to wear the mask that provides air for you first, then you help others, which is the same in life. You have to help yourself first. You have to make sure that you are okay so that you can help others. Otherwise, you are gonna burn out, like I said previously. To set up boundaries, you need to be comfortable saying no to others. How do you do that? Ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Sometimes doing work, it's hard to say no just because like that may be part of your job. I think that can still apply for you at some point. Let's just say outside of work that you have to make decisions that people asking you for something. In that case, when you're not sure whether to say yes or no, you first look at your own schedule and the things that you have to do for yourself. Let's say if you decide to help Kevin with his homework, then you have to make sure that your things are done. It's supposed to be on your time. When people are asking you for something, it's better to be on your time, not them, because they're the one asking you for help. Also, to set up healthy boundaries, you need to know that you should stop exaggerating people's reactions. We would sometimes think that we're the only one who can help them. Like, there's no other people who can do the same. But the truth is not. There are so many people who have the same ability to help others. You need to know that whoever is asking you for something, they can ask other people too. Don't try to be a hero in that case, because you should prioritize yourself. Let's say you just say no to Kevin. You think that Kevin is not gonna like ask Tracy for help or ask some other people? Yeah, of course Kevin is gonna do that. You just think that you are the only one who can help. So don't feel bad when you're not helping others. That's how you protect your own boundaries and not crossing your own lines for others. Another perspective is that, have you ever asked for a favor from others? Sometimes people would say yes, but then you can really feel that they don't want to do that. So you would feel guilty about it when you ask them, and then they say, oh yeah, sure, I can do that. So in that case, you're gonna feel bad because you feel like you're taking their time when you ask. So same concept. If you want to say yes, say it with authenticity. If you say yes with the feeling that you're not sure, you don't really want to, the people who ask you for stuff, they're gonna feel so guilty about it and they're not gonna be happy. The second solution is to recognize that the real kindness, it includes you. It's not like you have to sacrifice yourself for someone, for something, and that's kindness. It's not. This is not a superhero movie. It's not Marvel. This is not DC. If you see yourself as a normal human being, and sometimes you feel like helping others and sometimes you don't, then you won't have those kind of labels like, oh, I have to be a nice person, I have to be a kind person, I have to be saying yes all the time, I have to do this for others because they need me, they really need me, I'm the only one who can help. Like, you're not a hero. Like, this is not a show. Please wake up. The real kindness means that you are also kind to yourself. Putting yourself first, that doesn't mean that you are selfish. Please remember that. If you want to help others, please make sure you really have the desire to help. And that's it. Lastly, I just want to say that you probably know people who would please others and they are like they're happy to help and they're always like kind of putting shows on. One day it's gonna crack. Like, they're not gonna be the same like that because they're really acting, they're not being authentic. People who have socialized for a long time or have the experience, they will be able to see the truth. Also, I think one good thing if you learn to say no is that, let's say if you say no and Lucas is not happy that you didn't help him with his homework, in that case, Lucas is not a true friend. Like, saying no can really be a good filter for the good ones, for the good friends. Because the true friends would care about your feelings too. They don't only care about themselves. They want to make sure that you're okay too. They're not just sucking your energy, asking for help all the time. Then that is not a friendship. That is a toxic relationship. Real relationships involve mutual respect. Not just you or him or her pleasing the other. And you also have to know that nobody owes you anything and you don't owe anything to others. You don't have to satisfy others. You need to take care of yourself more. It's more important than you think when it comes to socializing. That's it for today. I hope everything makes sense and let me know what you think. Comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time. Bye.